You also want this because if you are performing any other type of interaction with the SBA, such as you're doing a change of ownership, one partner's buying the other partner out, you're bringing in an equity partner, or you're doing a relocation of the business.
Countdown, 1 month, September 4th. We're going to be live, and we're going to be talking about the pressing questions that we get every single day from business owners about the COVID-19 EIDL loan. You're going to want to tune in for this because this could be the difference between not having to worry about what the unpredictable SBA is going to be doing and how much time do you have to spend in your business and the disruption. Who wants to be disrupted with a bureaucratic process? Nobody. Trevor, what is one of the things that is most the reason you wanted to have this live show?
FOIA.
Ooh, yeah.
I got news for you, okay? You're going to have to interact with the SBA because it's a 30-year loan. So I got news for you. Now, that's not what I mean. What I mean is Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. One of the first things that we recommend in our SBA COVID-19 EIDL guidebook is to request the original COVID-19 EIDL application that you submitted way back in 2020 or 2021, whenever you first applied. You are going to thank me forever and a day for this piece of advice. Getting a copy of that application, which, by the way, very few people have it. I just did a consulting call a few minutes ago with a man who runs an IT type of business for enterprise customers, Amazon and Marriott hotels. The hotel needs trouble-free, frictionless Wi-Fi. They bring this specialist in, and he has that level of business. So he's very tech-oriented, very organized. And when I brought this up on the consulting call, he said, oh, well, you know, I'm very organized. I probably have it. I said, really? Because back then, I learned with the very first application I did, which was for our business, the SBA did not provide a copy of that application. People confused the loan agreement that they DocuSigned and downloaded with the application. Here's why you need the application. If you apply for a natural disaster loan and the information on your COVID application doesn't match what you put in the natural disaster loan, SBA will decline your natural disaster loan. This is factual because we have a client right now has been declined for 2 natural disaster loans in California, and the reason he was declined was the word discrepancies between his natural disaster application and his COVID application. Of course, SBA doesn't tell him what those discrepancies are. I figured it out even before he got the application. I said, it's probably because you changed your address and you didn't notify the SBA the correct way, which he did notify them, but they didn't tell him, oh no, there's a form, there's a procedure, there's a relocation form. That's a whole other video. It's a whole other question and answer for September 4th. I had him create a Freedom of Information Act request, sent it into the SBA, and it took about 60 days or so, a little more than 60 days, and he received a copy of the application along with a copy of the 4506 he had submitted and some other forms. Again, if SBA uncovers a discrepancy between your current request and what you put on the COVID EIDL application way back in 2020, it's 4.5 years ago, you're going to run into problems.
Speaking of running into problems, this is one of the things that we see every day from business owners that reach out to us. They are frustrated, confused, and being curious and proactive isn't really super sexy. But you know what isn't sexy? Being angry at something that you have no control over. And that's what happens when you finally are confronted with some mishap that is presented by the SBA because of the responsibility that you have because of having this loan. Why you wouldn't want to get ahead of it to be better than the SBA so that you have your ducks in a row. But this is the other problem. A lot of people don't even know what ducks to get in a row. So that's why we are having these Q&As. This is why we have our guidebook. This is why we do the 1-hour phone calls so that you can be better equipped with what your responsibility is for the next 30 years.
The live Q&A is going to be on September 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And you're going to come in and you can ask questions. If you want to send us questions in advance, curious@auroraconsulting.biz, send us your questions. What we're going to do is endeavor to answer the questions in as general as possible without getting into the nitty-gritty step-by-step instructions. So for instance, today I just mentioned that you should submit a FOIA or Freedom of Information Act request. But because there's a lot of different nuance in your business and in the SBA's procedures, the step-by-step instructions, we've included those in our SBA COVID-19 EIDL guidebook. And if you wish to purchase that, just click on the link in the description.
The other thing too is that that what we're trying to do here, besides the fact that we have different offers that you could buy, and be a customer, but more importantly is the awareness of knowing now when you know something, you can't unknow it, right? So then when you know
you can prepare for it. You can be proactive. Yeah. It's too often that we are encountering people who reach out to us for assistance, and it's a 911 call.
Yeah.
Get the fire engines, roll them out because that building's burning to the ground, because they were trying to do some simple aspect of their business, a change of ownership,
change of
getting
address,
a subordinated loan
change
from a
of business
lender,
structure.
And listen, here's the other thing about our question and answer. It's also addressed to CPAs and attorneys around the country, because these folks are not familiar with the very specific aspects of this program.
COVID-19 EIDL.
Yeah.
Because it's different than a regular SBA loan. It's different than a natural disaster loan. SBA didn't even have this before COVID because it is a COVID-19 EIDL loan. They just kind of meshed together the program they have had since 1953 for the natural disasters.
Shoot us an email, curious@auroraconsulting.biz, if you have a question that you want answered on the broadcast. If you want to purchase our SBA COVID-19 EIDL guidebook, click on the link in the description. And otherwise, mark your calendars, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and you will see in our YouTube page the upcoming video for September 4th, and you can click on Notify Me so you are reminded when the live broadcast happens. And we hope to see you then.
See you then.